Hey guys, welcome back. Hope your guys' Wednesday was good. Mine was alright. Let's just get right into the news. So, there's apparently just a huge PlayStation Store sale going on right now for PS3, PS Vita, and PS4. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet, but I'm going to take a look here in a couple minutes. And, yeah, I'll just come back. I'm going to just cut the video out real quick and I'll check on the store. So, I'll be right back. Hold on. Alright guys, so I just looked. They got WWE 2K16 on sale, still like 44 bucks. They got Batman Arkham Knight, which is alright. I'm not a big Batman fan. They got Lego, Batman 3, Hobbit, Lego Hobbit, Mad Max is on sale. There's a couple things on there that maybe I'd buy, but I'm probably not going to end up buying them because it's kind of a waste. But yeah, there's not many things that considers this a huge sale, but yeah. It's like a Warner Brothers sale and there's like game deals, so I don't know. Maybe I just don't get into those games, so I really could care less. But yeah, cool. I mean, Sony's having a sale. Great, good deal. All right, moving on. Last piece of news here: Assetto Corsa is going to be coming to console, PC or PS4 and Xbox One. If you guys don't know, Assetto Corsa is a PC driving simulator game. I played a very little bit of this game. I haven't played it since like way back. I don't even know when. Like, it's a long time ago. I don't even remember how I played it, but I played a little bit of it. And basically, this article says our console's ready for a true driving simulator because I know, like, when this game first came out, it was very in depth with like simulation to racing, like how actually race cars need to set up to race right and all that good stuff. And basically, like, they're just wondering if consoles are ready to go for these kind of games, because I know Forza Motorsport's more of a sim than Horizon, but regardless, it's still not the sim game that, you know, people consider sim. So really what what they said here, you know, kudos as the co-founder of Marco Masario, I guess. You know, he's a kudos co-founder, apparently. He said, ultimately we get two different kinds of reactions from people posting on the internet, on forums and Facebook, etc. Some people say we're not able to bring the same depth to the console that we are in the PC. That's just not possible. The majority of people, though, say they can wait till Assetto Corsa on console, believe the consoles need a proper car simulation. Really, we hope to surprise the skeptical people and change their minds, while pleasing people who expect the console version to have some in-depth PC, as the PC edition does. My question is, here's the problem. Not really problem, but here's the thing. Alright, why do people on PC care if Assetto Corsa can live up to the PC expectations when, if you already own it on PC, why would you even bother writing on a console, like, forum or anything? Like, why would you bother worrying about the console version? So I don't know. I don't know why they care. But obviously this game, they're going to try to make it the best it could possibly be on console. They're not, like, going to half-ass the game, alright, and just rush it out. They're not going to do that. At least I wouldn't think. But you never know. I mean, it's been I don't know if it's still in early access, to be honest with you. It could. But I guess there's a bunch of mods and input that the Steam early access people did to the game. So that's pretty cool. He said the first time we ran the PS4 version, I ran at 15 frames per second, which was a bit shocking for us. And I guess he laughed. We have a very good programmer, though, and we worked for a year to optimize everything and use core of the PS4 and Xbox One in order to get the kind of performance we're seeing today. He said, we're used to creating simulation software specifically for PC, and we've been doing that since '05. However, the PS4 and Xbox One are much closer to PC architecture than the previous consoles were, especially the PS3. Still, the hardware is very different. At the start, we didn't believe we could achieve 60 frames per second. We thought we could have it stick at 30. It was a big challenge for us because the game wasn't designed to run on consoles, so we spent a lot of time figuring out how to work with the console's memory, graphics, general performance capabilities to bring up the simulation we've made. On console, you must fight with the limitations for a fixed hardware. The good thing about the fixed hardware is that you know exactly what you got to work with in terms of resources. In the end, we did it, though. So, obviously the game probably isn't running at 15 frames per second still. They probably got to 30, like what they wanted. I mean, 30 is alright. To be honest, 30 to 60 frames, I really don't notice a difference. I don't know if that's just me or if I don't really care. But yeah, honestly, like, I can't wait for this game to come out to console. I'm probably not going to buy it, but I want to see the full simulation game out, you know, like a full sim racer game. So that's where I'm at with this game. I mean, have you guys played Assetto Corsa? Just like that'd be pretty cool if you guys did. If you guys would like to see this coming to console, or if you'd rather just have like basically Forza and Gran Turismo be the console exclusives that they need to be. So there's that portion of it, and then there's a second part of this article. It says, do console gamers want a full-blown simulation? And then this portion of the article goes on to say, like, you know, there's some, like, people want them to bring like X-Plane and Arma over to the console, but if anything, the racing genre is the few where, you know, where consoles can't handle the hardcore end of the gaming spectrum. It doesn't really apply to those console gamers. He said the idea you can't bring something in depth to consoles is one that's believed too strongly by developers in general. I think a lot of people just don't want to take a risk, which is very true. You don't want to be like, say, an Arma developer and say, oh, we're going to come to PS4 and Xbox One for the next input of this game. Okay, so you develop it. It takes you 2 years to do it, okay? Then the release comes out, it's buggy, it doesn't work, people lose interest right away. You really don't want to take that risk. That's honestly like where a lot of developers are now anyways, when the gaming in general. I mean, you don't see Call of Duty branching out and doing something else with their game. It's always online multiplayer and a horrible story mode. Same thing with the sports games. You don't want to see them update so much every year, take a risk, and nobody likes it, the game doesn't sell. Granted, they'd probably still make money either way, but whatever. Pretty much any game is like that. There's no innovation anymore, really. They don't want to take a risk. So it said realistic has become a synonym for difficult, which is something that needs to change and isn't applicable to Assetto Corsa. And depth of our simulation and our fingerprint as a company, and what we want to change is the attitude some people have that says being realistic means very challenging. That's not true at all. You just need to have basically the right people to do it and good developers to do it. I mean, it's not like challenging by any means. You just have to have the right people in the right place at the right time to make a really good realistic game. A lot of sports games are kind of arcadey. That's because they don't have the right developers. They're just kind of throwing out a game and that's it. He said if you go to a real track with your own personal car, then maybe you need a few laps to learn the layout. But you'll easily be able to stay on track without crashing and killing yourself. That's because you can understand what the car is doing and why it's doing it. If the game is realistic, then you should be able to understand the same things you do in real life. That means it shouldn't be challenging to understand and drive. It does become challenging when you start to push harder and work out what your own racing limits are, and that's what the limits of the car is. But if you don't want to do very stupid things, then you can still be able to stay on the track. That analogy, I don't know where you came up with that, but hey, it works. A lot of people think that simulation racing games are too challenging, but it could be that opposite is true. If the game allows you to understand the car properly, then it gives you a chance to correct a bad habit. We see that there are a lot of people who aren't used to racing games in general, but drive very well in Assetto Corsa because it feels similar to what they're used to in real life. We hear the best kind of compliment we can receive. Basically, for racing games, you need to have like a wheel, I guess. I don't ever use a wheel. I just literally used my Xbox controller for Forza. I mean, good enough for me. I'm not gonna spend $400 on a wheel, buy like a seat, buy like the shifter thinger. I don't know what it's called, shift knob. I don't know. I'm not gonna buy all that. I'm not gonna spend $600 on a setup because that's honestly not worth it to me at all. And I can pick up my controller, play a racer, get fun out of it, and that's good. I don't need to sit there and drive a car. If I'm gonna go drive a car, I'm gonna go take a spin around town with my car, and that'll be the end of that. I mean, I don't need a full-blown simulation game. I mean, not simulation game, but just a full-blown, oh yeah, virtual reality. And now I got my wheel, I got my virtual reality. I'm in this thing with $2,000. No. All right, that's not what's going to happen. But Mastardio, or whatever, however you say his name, he said a steering wheel is needed to give the game its full potential and to get a true driving experience. So maybe when I play it on PC, I had my Xbox 360 controller, and it didn't feel good. Like, I liked the game, it was good graphics and everything for like the time. It was like a couple years ago, I think it was. And I'm not gonna buy a wheel, so I'm probably not gonna buy this game. I mean, that's as simple as that. And turn on assists such as ABS and traction control doesn't make driving easier on a pad. He said driving the most powerful cars, I mean, much more natural and intuitive experience that you've got a wheel at your disposal. So I'm not gonna buy a wheel, okay? Like, I don't know if you guys agree with me about wheels or not, because probably play racing games if you're watching this video, obviously. And I'm not a big fan of wheels. I mean, I don't feel like spending $400 on a wheel, to be honest with you guys. He said, we believe today's consoles allow you to create very good simulation because the machines are powerful enough to process complex calculations needed to achieve proper simulation when it comes to in-car behavior. It'd be nonsense if created something that was different from PC version. And the PC has an excellent reputation, and we brought a simulation to the console that wasn't the same level. People would be very disappointed. That is true. Very true again. You can't really release two separate games. One has really high standards on the PC. You come out with the console version, and it's like basically a downgrade, almost like Watch Dogs with PS4 and Xbox One. Granted, Watch Dogs sucked, but it was better on the PS4 and Xbox One as opposed to the lower gen, last gen. Same with Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Same with every other game that comes out. You can't really make the game and say, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to cut this out, we're going to cut this out, we're going to cut this out. You can't do it. Right? You're just going to not sell the game well at all. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this, guys. I don't know, maybe I'm just way out there in left field, but I'm probably not going to buy a wheel. The game's good, I'm not going to buy a wheel. And maybe somebody could talk me into buying a wheel, but I don't see spending that kind of money for a wheel. People say, oh, you can get a wheel for $100 used. Yeah, guess what? No. They say, oh, you need force feedback. I don't think you do. I personally don't think you need force feedback in a wheel. I don't know if that's just me or what, but yeah, so that's all I really want to talk about today, guys. Make sure to like this video, comment, rate, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.